Upgrade Your English podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Upgrade Your English. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ben. We're so happy to have you with us today. We know you could be doing a million other things, but you chose to spend some time learning and practicing with us. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And today, we have a fun and super useful topic, linking words. These little words and phrases that connect your ideas and make your English sound smooth, natural, and clear.
Right. Without linking words, English can sound like a broken robot. You know, like I wake up, I eat, I work, I sleep. It's not wrong, but it's boring, disconnected, and kind of awkward.
Exactly. But when you use linking words, suddenly your English flows like a river. It feels alive. It feels human.
And that's what we want for you. Not just correct English, but natural English.
So today, we're going to talk, laugh, give examples, share stories, and of course, use lots of linking words ourselves. You'll hear them in action, and you'll see how they change the rhythm of speech.
And just so you know, we're not going to drown you in grammar rules. We'll keep it light and practical. Think of it like hanging out with two friends who happen to love English.
Exactly. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's jump in.
Okay, let's start simple. Probably the first linking word everybody learns is and.
Oh yes, it's like the bread and butter of linking words. Super basic, but super powerful.
Imagine this. I like apples. I like bananas. Sounds boring, right?
Yeah, kind of flat.
But if you say, I like apples and bananas, now it flows. You're connecting your ideas in a single, smooth thought.
And you can stretch it. Like, I like apples, bananas, and oranges. Suddenly you sound way more natural.
Exactly. And in real conversations, people use and all the time without even thinking. I went to the park and then I saw my friend and we had coffee.
Right. And notice how you can even add and then. That's very common in storytelling. I woke up and then I brushed my teeth and then I made breakfast.
Perfect for kids' stories too.
Yeah, my niece tells stories like that. And then.
So true. But it's not just for kids. Adults do it too when they're excited.
For sure. Like, I met this guy at the concert, and then he introduced me to his friends, and then we all went for pizza. That excitement comes from piling up those and thens.
So, don't underestimate and. It's small but mighty.
Now, sometimes you don't want to add, you want to contrast, show a difference. That's where but comes in.
Oh yes, but is everywhere. I wanted to go for a walk, but it started raining.
He's very smart, but he can be forgetful.
I love pizza, but I hate pineapple on pizza.
Oh, the pineapple debate.
Yeah, classic. And if you want to sound a little more formal, you can use however.
Like, the movie was interesting. However, it was too long.
Or, on the other hand, living in the city is exciting. On the other hand, it can be stressful.
Exactly. And that phrase, on the other hand, it almost feels like you're literally weighing two sides with your hands.
True. It's a nice visual.
So, contrast linking words help you show complexity. They make your ideas richer. Without them, you just give flat statements.
Yeah, like, I like the city. It is stressful. Sounds disconnected. But if you say, I like the city, but it's stressful, it feels like a real opinion.
Exactly. Linking words connect not just sentences, but also your personality.
Okay, let's play a little role play. Imagine we're talking about our weekend. So, how was your weekend, Sarah?
It was fun. I went hiking and the weather was amazing, but the trail was really crowded.
Oh, that's annoying. On the other hand, it's nice that so many people enjoy nature.
Yeah, true. However, I prefer it when it's quiet.
Look at that. We just used 4 different linking words in a natural chat.
And it didn't feel forced at all. That's the beauty of it. Now, another big function of linking words is cause and effect, showing why something happened.
Right. The classic one is because. I stayed home because it was raining.
Or flip it, because it was raining, I stayed home.
Exactly. Then you've got so. It was raining, so I stayed home.
And if you want to sound more academic, therefore, it was raining, therefore I stayed home.
Or as a result. It was raining. As a result, I stayed home.
These are all ways to connect your ideas logically.
Let's do a quick challenge. Sarah, tell me a random fact, and I'll link it with cause and effect.
Okay, I skipped lunch today.
You skipped lunch, so you must be hungry now.
Nice. Or, because you skipped lunch, you're probably starving.
Or, you skipped lunch. As a result, you're going to eat a giant dinner.
True.
See? It's all about showing the relationship between ideas.
Another fun group of linking words is sequence, words that show order.
Oh yeah, like first, then, next, finally.
Exactly. They're perfect for storytelling or giving instructions.
Imagine a recipe. First, chop the onions. Then, heat the pan. Next, add the onions. Finally, serve the dish.
Nice. Or a story. First, we went to the park. Then we had ice cream. Next, we watched a movie. Finally, we went home.
Without those linking words, it would just be a list of events. With them, it becomes a story.
And you can use them in arguments too. Like, first of all, learning English is useful. Secondly, it's fun. Finally, it connects you with people around the world.
Boom, a full speech structure.
Exactly. Sequencing is a superpower.
Let's spice things up with a longer role play.
Sure. What's the scenario?
Let's imagine we're planning a trip.
Okay, sounds fun.
So, Sarah, where should we go on vacation?
Well, I'd love to go to Italy because I've never been there. Also, the food is amazing.
True, but Italy can be really crowded in the summer.
That's right. On the other hand, the atmosphere is incredible during that time.
Good point. However, flights are more expensive in July.
Yes, but if we book early, we can save money, and then we won't have to worry later.
Okay, so Italy is an option. Another idea is Portugal. First of all, it's cheaper. Secondly, it has beautiful beaches. And finally, it's less crowded than Italy.
That sounds great. Therefore, maybe Portugal is the smarter choice.
But the pasta in Italy?
You and your pasta.
See how many linking words we just used? It felt like a real planning conversation.
And it's so natural. That's how linking words work. They make everyday chats smoother. You know, something important to mention is variety.
Oh yes. Learners often repeat the same connector again and again.
Exactly. Like using because in every sentence. I was late because I overslept. Because the bus was late. Because the traffic was bad. It sounds repetitive.
Instead, you can mix it up. I was late because I overslept. Also, the bus was late. And to make things worse, the traffic was terrible.
Much better. Variety keeps your English interesting.
And notice that little phrase, to make things worse. That's also a connector. It adds emotion.
Exactly. Linking words aren't just grammar. They bring color, emotion, and personality.
All right, Let's get creative. How about we each tell a mini story using as many linking words as possible?
Ooh, challenge accepted. You go first.
Okay, here's my story. Last weekend, I wanted to relax. First, I stayed in bed longer than usual. Then, I made myself a big breakfast. After that, I watched some TV. However, my neighbor started playing loud music, so I couldn't concentrate. As a result, I decided to go outside. On the other hand, it was really hot. Therefore, I ended up going to the library instead. Finally, I spent the afternoon reading.
Nice. That's full of connectors, but it sounds natural.
Thanks. Your turn.
All right. Yesterday was crazy. First, I forgot to set my alarm, so I woke up late. Because of that, I missed my train. However, I found a bus that went to the same place. On the other hand, the bus was slower. As a result, I was still late for work. Also, I forgot my lunch at home. And to make things worse, it started raining when I left the office. Finally, I got home, made some pasta, and just relaxed.
Perfect. That's exactly how real life feels, full of linking words.
Let's talk about fillers for a moment.
Oh yeah, words like, so anyway.
Exactly. They don't connect ideas logically, but they connect the flow.
Like, I was walking down the street, and suddenly I saw my old teacher.
Or, I didn't like the film. The actors were good, but the story was weak.
Perfect. These fillers give you time to think and keep the rhythm natural.
And they're very common in spoken English, especially in casual chats.
Just don't overdo it. Too many you-knows can get annoying.
True, balance is key.
Okay, let's do another role play. This time, we'll argue, playfully.
All right, let's go.
I think dogs are better pets than cats.
I disagree. Cats are easier to take care of. Also, they're independent.
True, but dogs are more loyal.
However, dogs need more attention and time.
On the other hand, cats can be too aloof.
Yeah, but they're adorable, and therefore, cats win.
I don't think so. Dogs forever.
That's a classic friendly debate, and we use tons of linking words. Before we wrap up, let's give our listeners some advice.
Good idea.
First, don't stress about learning all linking words at once.
Right. Start with the basics. And, but, because, so.
Then, slowly add more, like however, therefore, in addition, on the other hand.
Second, listen to how native speakers use them in movies, podcasts, conversations.
Third, practice telling stories using them, even small daily stories. Like, first I did this, then that because of this, but finally.
Exactly. Storytelling is a great way to practice connectors naturally.
And remember, variety makes you sound natural, but clarity is always the most important.
Couldn't agree more.
So keep practicing, have fun with it, and your English will definitely upgrade.
That's it for today's episode. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Don't forget to subscribe, share the podcast, and keep practicing every day.
Until next time.